It won't work, you know. You have nothing to go on. Did you really think it would be as easy as searching the Primordial on the internet? You're never gonna find me that way. It's not as though I slink around in public menacingly, wreathed in shadow, whispering dark chants as I go. You won't find any information about my true identity anywhere online. I've made sure of that. I suppose there could be some dusty old book out there somewhere that mentions me. It's much harder to track down that sort of thing. But you'd be about as likely to run to one of those as you would be to just bump into me. What you should be doing is practicing using my power, plaything. You've barely touched it since I ran it to you. There's no way to do things. How could you possibly expect to be ready for my servants when they come for you? Oh, you certainly should be worried about the corruption. You should also be worried about keeping yourself alive. Naturally, I'd rather you succumb to my control rather than die a horrific death, though I don't know about you. Why don't you give it a try? There's very little risk as long as it's something easy. You can levitate small objects or create a little heat with practically no risk at all. And remember, the more you do it, the more my power you can safely handle. You're a shrewd one, aren't you? You're right. You can't truly trust anything I say. But then, I'm your only source of information. You don't choose to trust anything I say, then you'll be utterly lost. Here, as a show of goodwill, I'll tell you a little something useful. The first of my servants is already stalking you. Oh, you won't be able to see them. They hide in the deep shadows, an abyssal place so dark that even the brightest light can't illuminate it. You could peer into it if you use my power, but you're not nearly ready for that yet. Perhaps if you've been practicing. They won't attack you right away, fortunately for you. They're cautious. They'll learn your schedule, memorize the places you frequent, and find out when and where you're most vulnerable. You have some time, but not much. They're one of my weaker servants, attacking you early because I don't want you to gain enough power to bend them to your will. You have a little time, but not much. You'll need to train yourself up. If you've been practicing, you'd be ready. You wouldn't have to rush. Now you risk succumbing to me as you push your limits to handle enough power to subjugate them. Still glued to your phone. What are you looking up this time? Good. That will help you. Not one little bit. Not against this one. Some of my servants are vulnerable to conventional weapons, but this one is too crafty for that. They'll wait until you set it down. You can't stay awake forever. You'll eventually leave yourself vulnerable. It's entirely pointless to try and defend yourself in such a mundane way. No, you'll need to learn to peer into the deep shadows. Once you can do that, you can bind their will to yours. Taking control of their mind will be comparatively simple. If you vary your schedule and stay unpredictable, I'd say you have about 2 weeks. 5 days if you don't. 2 weeks will be just enough time for you to learn to pierce the veil of the deep shadows. If you're talented and lucky, that is. Still, you refuse. Are you that frightened of falling under my control? You should fear a hunter far more. They're not nearly as merciful as I am. It seems you need convincing. Once you take your first step, you surely will see it's not so terrifying. That would be your door. We're now locked in this room. What will you do now, my little plaything? It won't open. Not even if you try to batter it down. I'm strengthening it to withstand any impact you could bring against it. The windows, too. You didn't think my only ability was speaking your mind, did you? I can do many things. I don't usually interfere with my pack holder's affairs. I would hate to see you fall so soon. It's been far too long since the last pack holder to let things in so suddenly. There's only one way for you to free yourself. You need to unlock the door using my power. Please, it's easy. The lock won't react to any attempt to force it open by physical means, but it will move smoothly when touched by my power. You only need to focus on the lock and picture it opening. You don't even need to know exactly how the lock works. It will work intuitively. You're only moving a small object. There is no risk to this, and it will be an important first step to becoming more powerful. Does it really frighten you so, my power? You think that even the smallest use of it will set you on a path to your own destruction, don't you? There was a time for caution, but now isn't it? You don't wait to see how things will play out when a train is barreling towards you. You need to act. You can think about the consequences later. If my servant figures out that you're trapped in here, they may decide to attack early. That's it. Reach out. For now, I'm helping you properly direct the power, but eventually you'll be able to control the flow on your own. I'm just generous that way. Visualize. Bend reality to your will. Don't just wish that it will happen. Command it. So you can feel it, even when it's so subtle. Yes, you're feeling my mind beginning to touch yours more fully. Using this little power won't allow me in, but it's enough to strengthen our pact. You needn't worry about that. What you're feeling. You'll have to discover what it is when you become my servant. You will never need to know. Don't lose focus now. You're wasting my power. Direct it at the lock. Don't let it simply waft around. Yes. You're getting closer to it. You're starting to understand how to wield it. Almost. You see? It's not so frightening once you've used it. Just think of all the things you can do, even with this tiny sliver of my power. There was one pack bearer who made himself rich using only that small level of power. He would distract cashiers and slip a large bill out of the register here and there. It was working quite well, at least until he found he wasn't prepared for my service. You're more than welcome to use this power for your own purposes, but do make sure not to make the same mistake as him. I'd like to see you conquer at least 3 or 4 of my servants before you finally succumb and die. After all, it just gets so boring here. I bet how someone's going to realize you can hardly ever leave it. Wait, I didn't. That was a mistake. I didn't mean to give away personal detail about myself. It's enough of a risk to just know that I exist among your kind. But what has been done can't be undone. Consider it a reward for taking your first step on the path to power. It doesn't narrow it down too terribly anyway, I think. And even if you do somehow manage to use that little clue discovered my whereabouts, I wouldn't recommend hunting me down just yet. You'll have to manage quite a bit of my powers to defeat me. And of course, I won't be helping you control it. And I'm also very well guarded by both supernatural and conventional means. If you're not very well prepared, your journey will be cut quite short. That's all thoughts for the far future. For now, focus on besting my first servants. If you can't manage that, then you certainly won't be able to come for me. Spend all day, every day practicing, and you just might be able to save yourself. And don't forget to be unpredictable, otherwise you'll have enough time by half. I look forward to seeing how you overcome this first challenge. It's going to be quite gripping to see whether you succeed or fail. I do hope you won't disappoint me. I'll leave you again for a time. I'd like the outcome of this battle to be a bit of a surprise, but I'll speak to you again very soon. Best of luck.